up, Woodward. We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid.
I'm fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener. Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm, because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
Welcome to Wake Up Woodward. It is a double victory Monday. Obviously, big bank take little bank. Detroit Lions absolutely opened up a can of Bobby Boucher Whoop A on the Jacksonville Jaguars. It was as loony a final score as all of the chat have predicted, man. It's your boy Brandon Dan, Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer. Yeah, a little extra emphasis on the Pistons. And Flannel Sam, the vet of the squad, the vet of the network. Hey, man, all sports knower and Red Wings correspondent. The Pistons, too, man. 124-104 victory. They're 7-8. They are moved out of the play-in positioning into just playoff positioning.
Yes.
Wow, 20% of the season, and they can actually get to 500 tonight.
You absolutely love to see it. And a couple of disclaimers before we start the show. I know that Alex Anzalone broke his arm. He's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. We're going to just have a fun style show today. We'll talk about Anzo tomorrow, and we are going to get into the Pistons just briefly in the first segment. If some of you can just hold out for like 15 minutes, I promise we will dive deep into the Lions. But the Pistons have earned it, man. They're 7-8, 15 games into the season.
One of the best defensive teams in all of the NBA. JB Bickerstaff has this team playing at a level, motor-wise, that just never turns off. They have a lot that they still have to clean up. And if they do, then some of the conversation we were probably having before the show, KG, then they have an opportunity to make sure they're taking full advantage of each and every one of these years that you have Cade Cunningham under contract. As Pistons fans, sometimes I'm like, yay, compare Cade Cunningham to Grant Hill, and then other times it's like, whoa, don't compare him, because we understand where that went, because they did not surround him with the right amount of talent. And you know what? Some people say that at that time they didn't really take the right approach to his health. We see with the Pistons already. They're like, bro, take a whole year off to get your health right. Here's your bag right now. We promise you we're going to get you some players. We're going to get a competent front office. And so from that aspect, it's like it's good to see Cade Cunningham being able to have this type of success early in the season, not having to, trudge through early, downs, but being able to be right here, 7-8. You're probably going to win your division for the NBA Cup. You have an opportunity tonight. Pack LCA out. I'm serious. Get down there. Let these guys, let the Pistons hear you, Detroit.
So fast.
Seriously. They're playing their hearts out. They're bringing that grit. When I saw JB Bickerstaff talk about it in the preseason media day, it was just kind of like, okay. But now that you see them, it's like, no. what he's saying is resonating to his players, which is what we often say about the Lions. So well done to the Detroit Pistons. Cade Cunningham with the triple-double, 21 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 5 steals, just 2 turnovers. Jaden Ivey with 28 points, Malik Beasley, 26 points. You got to have the big three. You got to have some people that can put the ball in the basket. That's what you saw last night.
And I'll tell you what, they played like an actual big three last night. Not that they are one. I don't think Malik Beasley's ever going to be a part of a big three. But last night, let me give you some numbers for everybody to marinate on. In last night's 20-point win over the Washington Wizards, Cade, Ivey, and Beasley combined for 75 points on 54% from the floor, 55% from three, and 100% from the free throw line. I'll tell you what. I know it was the Wizards, but if those three can do that, you'll beat Cleveland. You'll beat damn near any team in the NBA. And what I like, too, is that they're treating the Washington Wizards as whipping boys. The Pistons, who last year were a 14-win team, have a team that they can now treat as whipping boys.
Talk about it.
I love to see it because we talked about before the year. The Pistons need to be better than certain teams, and the Washington Wizards were at the top of that list. If the Pistons don't have a better record than the Wizards, just cancel the franchise at this point. But you know what? They're 7-8. I believe the Wizards are a 3-win team. The Pistons put a belt to ass last night, and not just that. They took care of business on Friday against the Raptors.
Yeah.
Not a great game in terms of shooting, but they only gave up 95 points, and sometimes you just got to survive and advance. So a couple of really impressive wins by the Pistons in a row to be 7-8, 15 games in. When part of their schedule was considered a gauntlet, absolute great start to the season from the Pistons.
And you know what? I'm so glad that you talked about the fact that the Pistons are they got the teams that they can whip now. Because in my notes I have Pistons have to continue dogging the teams they're supposed to. With the Wizards game as a prime example, bottle that game up. And whenever you have an off night, go back to that tape and realize what you're supposed to do every single time. Change your own expectations if you're the Detroit Pistons right now. Block out all the outside noise, which is something that JB Bickerstaff, when you have a real coach, they got that way of kind of camping you in, and everybody on the outside can really eat all of the double birds, middle fingers, whatever you want to call it that you can have, man. And that is what JB Bickerstaff did so well, even kind of going into training camp and hearing these players talk. Last year, the players were saying their own things, and you could tell it. They're just stepping to the podium. They're saying their own stuff, media day as well as exit interviews. This year, they were stepping to the podium saying the same things, but not as it relates to like restore rhetoric, but as it relates to defense, as it relates to process, as it relates to organization. I was like, wait, are we in a business meeting now? Okay, now we're getting serious. And that's what I see out there on the court. This team is much more connected defensively. The team is understanding better offensive principles, even though they have to get more consistent. But I think that chemistry sometimes comes with time when you got some new players. But I right now, they are giving us opportunity, and I'm going to continue to drum this, to this beat, man. 20% through the season. I'm going to continue to give you guys the percentages. This team is in prime playoff positioning still. It was funny in the beginning of the season when we stated this. But right now, they have moved from playing into, I believe, fifth in the East.
Yeah.
But I got to double check that. So I don't like it. I keep it going. And you know what? They should be even higher.
They should, and they should beat the Bulls tonight. At home, the Bulls are coming off of a 36-point loss at home to the Houston Rockets last night.
Damn.
The Bulls are terrible. They don't know what they want to be. Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic look like they'd rather be anywhere but Chicago. Josh Giddey stinks. Put belt to ass tonight, Pistons. Go ahead.
He do more than stinks, man.
Just one little thing. I see here, Rod Nuge, the fourth quarter meltdowns have been impressive. This is a team that's trying to learn to play together.
Yeah.
And winning down the stretch is not something that teams just do. You even hear teams like the 04 Pistons talk about what it meant to learn to play the game the right way. And some of these guys were already some of the better basketball players in the NBA when Larry Brown came here and had to teach them to learn to play the game the right way. So, I do believe that they will get better through these ups and downs to be at this point. That means that there's a whole lot of other teams that have a whole lot more to figure out than the Pistons right now. And so I'm not going to sit here and act like the race is over, but as it relates to being encouraged at the early signs, I am definitely there for it.
Yeah, no, they finally starting to gel as a team, and I thought you brought up chemistry, and I think that's maybe the key word with this team right now. They are actually a team. Like, you just see a marginal difference from last year to this year, and they're doing it with a lot of the same players. So what JB Bickerstaff has done for this Pistons team, I think is like undeniable at this point. The defense looks a lot better. You're getting a lot more from Cade and the boys. And to be honest, we got to talk about the evolution of Jaden Ivey, bro. Jaden Ivey, he is becoming the 1B on this team, and I'm here for it, man. Yep. Like, we always thought that he had this ability, but, you know, the Monty regime, they kind of stunted his growth. They sat him. He wasn't really efficient last year, and you wonder, like, can we really get to the ceiling that you know we expect for Jaden Ivey? And this year we are seeing that in bunches, man. If he can continue this level of play and they can continue getting what they're getting from their veteran players, in particular their shooters, oh my God, this team can go places this year. They really can.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm glad you brought up Jaden Ivey because he does deserve as much credit as we can give him. It's a player that I know on this platform a lot of us were bullish on, and some of us had some questions on, and rightfully so. But some of the trends that I had seen towards the end of the season, they made me very, very optimistic about who he could be, because to go through all of the noise that you went through last year and to still say, you know what, I'm still churning underneath the same coach. It ain't like it was like an interim coach. Then I'm just like, you know what, that's a guy that I want on my squad. And the other aspect of Jaden Ivey is he wants to be in Detroit. Like this dude has Detroit in his blood. He talks openly about it. Outside of the media availability at like practices and press conferences, I got to speak to him at like charity events. Every single time I talk to him, Detroit is the thing that he's talking about. It's like we step off the court and it's just Detroit. Yeah, my grandma got a shop over there. Yeah, my people's been here in the city for this long. Yeah, my dad was an athlete over here. Yeah, my mom won championships in the city. So it's like to see him have this type of success and want to have it here, this was something where it was like this guy was going to allow whoever to do whatever they wanted, because he was going to try and stay in the fire as long as he could to try and have some type of success here in Detroit. So there are so many different narratives, and I am happy to see him have this success, as well as the other narrative, he and Cade Cunningham as a backcourt. Man, you talk about backcourts in the East, backcourts in the NBA. By All-Star break, by the end of the season, we talked about it. Are we going to have these guys both in the top 100 in the NBA next year? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I don't even think that's a question at this point. And now with Jaden Ivey in combination with him wanting to be here, he now has a great basketball situation, and he is having himself a heck of a year. Prove some of the people like myself wrong. Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham, they can fit and they will succeed together, starting with this season. They already have, at least 15 games in.
Oh, yeah, Kool-Aid, they are fifth in the East, by the way.
Well, oh yeah, fifth and East, right? Yeah, because I just wanted to double check. I knew I saw it last night. I didn't know if there were other games that played out or anything, but thank you for that.
They fifth.
Chase, hey, I like your hat, man. Look, we got the different variants on. I like it.
Yeah. What up, though? Good morning, everybody. Hope you guys are having a good day. I want to say shout out to James from the chat. Him and his dad were actually the first people in the door at Second Best yesterday. They were there at the pregame show, met him and his father. So I want to say shout out to them. They were actually the people who provided us with that really cool video from inside the tunnel that we saw like opening the show. So I just want to say special shout out to them, and appreciate meeting you guys yesterday. Hope you guys are enjoying the show and enjoyed the game as well. So
That's awesome. I love this family. You know what? I was going through videos the other day from opening day. And I was like, oh, yeah. And then going back to the Red Wings game, we had boots on the ground, seeing Detroit Dabber, you know, our dude Rake, Chase Hamley, you know, Freddie Felt at the draft day. It was so many different people. Freddie. And it's like, it's awesome that this platform can be one where we can come together, not just over our sports teams, because they were bad. A lot of them were bad when Woodward Sports started. But because we just mess with each other like that. It's Detroit, man. It's one big family. I love it. And to have our teams all trending like this right now, golly, it just makes it that much better. And I know we got a whole show where we're setting up the Krispy Kreme factory to glaze the Detroit Lions, but we had to make sure that we paid the Detroit Pistons some attention.
Of course, the Pistons deserve a little glaze at the beginning, but the Lions, as we know, deserve they deserve more than even this network can give in terms of glazing. But we will do our best. So when we come back, it's going to be all Lions the rest of the damn show. But first, tell us about Second Best, Kool-Aid.
Hey, I will tell you about Second Best. You know why? Because for every single Detroit Lions home game, it's where the best pregame party is. Right in the middle of downtown Detroit, right in the middle of the action. right amongst the people. 42 Watson Street. Mark that down because it's where the ultimate fan experience is. Second best bar in downtown Detroit. You can also enjoy some smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey while catching the Woodward Sports pregame show only at Second Best Bar. Come get some.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports and Les Stanford want to reward you for outkicking your coverage, just like Rex Ryan did. That's right. If your significant other is hotter than you, you could win tickets to the Thanksgiving Day game in Detroit. Find the best pic of her with the average-looking you and post it on X or Instagram with the hashtag Woodward Tickets. Tag at Woodward Sports and follow us to enter. We will announce a winner on November 25th. Outkick your coverage from Woodward Sports and Les Stanford Chevrolet, Cadillac, GMC, and Buick in Dearborn and Ferndale.
Oh, man. What up, though, people? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward. Appreciate you guys for choosing to kick off the day with the WUW Crew. And chat family, as always, you all are the most important part of this thing, so go on ahead and smash that like button. Smash it for the Lions, the Tigers, the Red Wings, and the Pistons. This is funny. Breaking news. Giants expected to bench Daniel Jones for Tommy DeVito.
Hey, Tommy DeVito.
Hey, Tommy DeVito, he shares the age.
Forget about it.
Back again. Iffy motherfucker.
Yes.
That's funny. But you know what, man? I know we got to get into Lions. and shout out to KG.
Sam Hayden.
Detroit's #1 draft pick in the sound booth, man. I love the shirt as well. What up, though, brother?
Hey, appreciate it. And shout out to the Michigan Panthers, man, dropping off some merch to the crew last week. But yeah, man, what more can we say about the Lions, man? It's like the Jay-Z song. What more can I say at this point?
We're gonna, you know what? We're gonna have a whole set. A whole show to talk about it.
Right.
Hey, in turn. Cavassier Chase. Right now he's in Chase GPT mode. Good morning. What up, dude? I know the first segment was just like so much Victory Monday, double Victory Monday energy. I forgot to even introduce everybody.
Hey, good morning. What up, though? How's it going, everybody? Like I said, I had to shout out James, who was out at second best yesterday.
That's awesome.
Hope we see some more of you guys out. We only have like a couple more home games left, but pop out to second best. I took a loss worse than the Jags yesterday to Neil. We played bubble hockey before. I got to get out of this early.
Oh, I got to
address it early. The Jags put up a better performance than myself. They at least scored. Neil worked me 9-0 in bubble hockey. He really is that dude. So just getting out ahead of it. Took the loss. Just got to wear it. You know, if the shoe fits, wear it. If the truth hurts, bear it. So Neil, you won. You're the better man.
You know what? Hey, I'll get out ahead of this as well. Hey, you're gonna win in the fantasy matchup. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Come back.
Woodward Sports MVP and a titty boy. And a titty boy. It's a double victory. It's
Soft titty.
Soft titty.
2
victories. Sitting pretty. Hey, Women's Sports MVP, JB Smooth.
It's a nice set. It's a nice set.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Another Victory Monday. I know Chase said it already, but shout out to James. He gave us those videos when we opened the show as well, too. Shout out him and his pops stopping by Second Best Bar before heading over to Ford Field. They actually had tunnel tickets, so that's where all those videos came from, in the Lions tunnel as well, too. I know Chase said it, too. There's only a couple more Lions home games where we'll be down at Second Best Bar, so stop by. Show us your one pride that you have. Who knows? You could make it on the show. And if you got any videos, please send them our way as well, too. I know walking down that tunnel, seeing all the players had to be electric as ever, because I would have been excited if I was down there with them as well.
Yeah, and you know what, man? Shout out to all the Lions fans, too. They just turn up everywhere. It don't matter, road, home, and it's a good time. Good representation. And just before we get into Lions, just real quick. Yeah, do y'all hear that? It sounds like crickets from the haterade, the Caterade, right? Hey, where are they at?
I don't hear them.
Another one, triple-double, 5 steals, good defensive rating. Where are they at, Flannel?
I'm legitimately at the point where I think Cade haters should be sent to an island. should just be sent to an island to just exist amongst themselves.
With no TVs.
I mean, Stick can stay. In theory, he should be on that island, but we kind of need him here.
Well, you know what, man? We got to talk about the team that has inspired a lot of the other teams in town. You hear them using their language, grit. You hear them talking about the type of squad they're going to be from a resiliency standpoint. And who kind of tipped off this iceberg for Detroit sports renaissance? The Detroit Lions. Talk about a smackdown. They scored on every single possession, and they also had 7 drives, 7 freaking touchdowns. Isn't 7 the perfect number?
Yes.
That's what I was told. Yeah. That's what I was taught. That's what I knew growing up. And the Detroit Lions went out there, and Ben Johnson put on a masterclass. I was hoping, hey, hold them to under 10 points. That's what I was hoping. And they did that. The defense went out there and worked. And it was crazy, Flannel. They just looked like they were playing like a college team. Yeah. They looked so much faster, so much more physical, so much more just like precise with everything. That this was a beatdown of epic proportions. I looked at the scores from previous weeks, and I'm like, wait, the Jags didn't look that bad, but the Lions made them look that bad.
It was one of the most dominating performances I've ever seen on an NFL field. There's high school versus JV that aren't as dominant. There's Power 4 versus NIAI games that aren't as dominant in a college football. It was absolutely unbelievable. And honestly, I got to give a shout out to Ben Johnson, because he'd been hearing some of the noise, even from somebody like myself, who hadn't been critical of him, but have been telling you guys and everybody who wants to listen that Aaron Glenn has been the more valuable coordinator this season. And I think Ben Johnson took that a little personal.
Yeah, he did.
Obviously, I'm sure they're happy to be the 2 best coordinators in the NFL, but this was 7 possessions, 7 touchdowns. As you said, Kool-Aid, every single it looked so easy. Did they even sweat in that game?
Did you see Jared Goff on the bench? It showed like 20 of 24, 300 something yards, and he was sitting there sulking like he was thinking about last week. I'm like, but you won last week, bro. And it's like, if these are the types of monsters that, and just ferocious beasts that Dan Campbell is raising, and just, hey, this is what we're gonna be now. It's just like, oh my gosh. This is how you're going to feel. You beat a good Houston Texans team, but because you want perfection, because you want Super Bowl, because you understand how close you got last year and it slipped away, I kind of got it, and I vibed with it. And you know what? Social blew up with it too, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of my takeaways that I get from this game as well, and we're going to expound on each of these individual guys as the show goes on. So Shad, I gotta save some stuff for later, Shad. Trust me, you will get what you want. I will give the people what they want. But this is the Oprah game. Everybody gets numbers. Everybody gets everybody gets a touchdown. Everybody gets to, I don't want to say pad stats because that's kind of a dirty term, but there have been games from like Jared Goff, from Amon-Ra St. Brown, from Jamison Williams, where they won, but those respective players didn't have to do a whole lot in terms of their numbers. And the reality is, we know, and Jamison Williams, of course, was suspended for a couple of games, but the reality is that
Jersey Watch.
this, absolutely, we're going to get into that. This season is Super Bowl or bust. No question about it. If they win the Super Bowl, everything's great no matter what. If they don't, we go home crying. However, wouldn't it be nice for Jared Goff to get the MVP? Wouldn't it be nice for Amon-Ra St. Brown to be first-team All-Pro? Wouldn't it be nice for Kerby Joseph to lead the NFL in interceptions? And wouldn't it be nice for Jamison Williams to have 1,000 yards? The Jacksonville Jaguars, there's nothing that they could do to stop the train, and this is a game in which pretty much every single person who needed to get their numbers in terms of individual accolades and then reaching their individual accolades got them. I'm not saying individual accolades matter, but it's nice for a lot of these offensive players to really get on track, especially a Jared Goff. We knew it was going to be a get-right game. We didn't know it was going to be this good.
Look at him, man. That's the picture I was talking about, and everyone was like, man, he's really taking this personal. And I hope that is the vibe that they take. No satisfaction until you are taking a chunk out of a Super Bowl kneecap. No validation, no satisfaction, no power rankings lifts, no type of glazing that we are doing. I want that energy right there, all the way to a Super Bowl win. Dan Campbell, I don't know how the heck they're cooking up what they're cooking up, but I am so glad it's happening right here in Detroit. And whatever they saw to say, you know what, we got to make sure we lock this coach in even before we have a GM. Like, that just speaks to the health of this organization and why other organizations out there are trying to emulate. And you know what, Fano, I got a number for you. I got some stats.
Let's do it.
1,052. What does that number mean to you?
1,052.
Yes.
Is that who?
Ooh, what do you guys think, chat family? 1,052. These are yards. And they do relate to a Detroit Lions player. Does anybody want to take a guess?
Jahmyr Gibbs total yards.
Jahmyr Gibbs total yards. The first Detroit Lions skill player over 1,000 total yards on the season. I just wanted to make sure that we shouted him out for that.
Yes.
The type of season that he is having right now is epic. He's almost at 800 yards rushing. He's at 796 on the season, 256 receiving yards. Now, last year he had 316. He's going to definitely have a lot more than that. He might get to 500 receiving yards or blow past that this season.
He might. That was, man, that was actually a really nice number. It took me a second, but no, 1,000.
I knew you would get it though.
1,000 total yards.
How would you not get it?
Hey, eventually I was going to get it. 1,000 total yards in 10 games. You absolutely love to see it. And there are some other numbers that really just prove how dominant this was. The Lions outgained the Jaguars 645 to 170. 645 to 170. That's what we talk about when we talk about this was varsity versus JV. No, this was D1 college versus JV in high school. They didn't even look like they were playing the same sport. And that's the type of dominance that you rarely see, even from the best of the best teams, even from the Super Bowl winning teams. You don't always see dominant performances like this, or against Tennessee or against Dallas. They are killing teams. If they continue like this, and obviously they're not going to win every game 52-6 as their schedule is, they're going to have tougher opponents, but we could be talking about a margin of victory throughout the season or a score differential, which is historic because they've baked in these just absolute beatdown blowouts.
What have I been asking for since last season? You know, it was interesting being able to kind of jump on a couple of different shows and seeing the different perspectives. And the one perspective that everybody had, which I feel like ultimately cost us in that, we have to go back to it, that NFC Championship game, is their inability to keep their foot on the pedal for as long as they want to keep it on the pedal. And we saw that there were other teams that were able to say, you know what, no, we're going to break you right now. We're going to throw out the tack strip, and we're going to take out the tires. Shout out Need for Speed. But this year it seems like the Detroit Lions are saying we are not allowing anybody to slow us down, especially after that Buccaneers game. I feel like they look at their record, and I hope that they are disgusted. Like, if Jared Goff is looking like that over a win, you can't tell me that they get up every morning, look at that record, and don't say, what the heck? Because every loss since after the NFC North, after that NFC Championship game is going to hurt. It has to hurt. And that's the type of stuff that I'm hoping that fuels them. They know exactly who they are and what they are, and that they never want to feel that pain of losing again. And that's why I'm just like, man, whatever this squad is doing, keep your pedal to the metal, because the offense yesterday, people were like, oh, maybe they're going to slow it down. No, they're not. They're not, because they've done that before and they've caught L's. Like, you know what? Get the work in right now. Line up and stop me. How about that? It's the NFL. Line up and stop me.
And the Jaguars were no match. And while we're talking about seven possessions, at least by the starters, and 7 touchdowns, we got to shout out the offensive line as well. Kept Jared Goff pretty much almost completely upright. He was hit twice. He wasn't sacked, and their run blocking was immaculate. And we all know against the Houston Texans, the offensive line probably had their worst day. They had their worst day. Jared Goff had his worst day. But you know what? That's how you respond. That's how you respond when an inferior opponent comes to town. And you know what also is very symbolic of them keeping the foot on the gas? They didn't even let Brian Thomas have that sideline catch when they were up 52-6.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell was just like, you know what? I'm just going to challenge this.
Yep.
Just because he can. Just because Brian Thomas didn't make the catch. And they're not, and nobody's going to get any cheapies, even if it's just garbage time yards that ultimately don't lead to points.
Ain't no love around here, man.
No love around. Oh my God. Hey, you know what? Just to make sure that we do it some justice, we'll definitely call out those 7 scores. The first one, David Montgomery, 2-yard rush in the first quarter. Oh my gosh, 3 of them things in the second quarter. Jahmyr Gibbs, 1-yard rush. And then David Montgomery, 6-yard rush. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 27-yard pass. Then third quarter, Jamison Williams, 64-yard pass from Jared Goff. Then Brock Wright, 5-yard pass from Jared Goff. Gosh.
Then Amon-Ra again.
Fourth quarter, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 9-yard pass. And then you got to get Jake Bates some work. Every single possession, they score.
KG?
Yes, sir.
Keep taking Jake Bates victory laps.
Hey, you damn right. You see the Michigan Panthers shirt on. Y'all know what it is. 54 yards.
Talk about
What are we
it.
talking about? A field goal. He hasn't missed a field goal. And his last 3 were 50-plus yarders. Doesn't miss.
It's like every phase of our special teams. Is it elite? Is it a weapon? Like Jake Bates is a weapon.
Yes.
Jack Fox is a weapon. Khalif Raymond is a weapon.
Keep
your foot on the pedal,
You've got maybe the best punt returner. You definitely have the best punter, and at least statistically, there's no kicker who's kicking better than Jake Bates in the NFL right now. Am I ready to call him the best kicker yet? Maybe not, but this season, he's making a Pro Bowl case. He is. He hasn't missed. His last 3 were 50-plus yards, and the ones against the Texans were with all of the pressure in the world. Those were some important kicks.
Man, and you know what? It's like Lindsey Hunter reminds me. It's what Bill Belichick did. It gets you an elite special teams. Good offense, good defense, but elite special teams. Yeah. Those are the things that power Super Bowl and championship winning squads. Right now, the Detroit Lions look like a juggernaut. That's not going to allow anybody to slow them down. And you know what? We got to talk about Mr. Sulking Man himself, Jared Goff. He had a perfect passer rating.
He did.
Goodness gracious. How many perfects are we going to get? Perfect halves, perfect games, perfect passer ratings. Jared Goff, man, you talk about a guy who got the bag. People didn't think it was people wanted to see. What are we going to get? He's elite.
Yes.
He's elite, man. Yes. Let's get into it.
Tell us about New Holland, JB.
Oh, of course. You know I got you. You see the hat that I'm wearing right now.
Hey.
New Holland was in the building at second best bar. And you know what? The drinks were flowing. We had the tall, long drinks. I know Neil had a couple of them. And Pete was over there smashing these right here. The intergalactic haze of goodness.
Let Pete cook.
That tangerine space machine. Oh, yeah. Pete was over here crushing a couple of these. I'm not going to lie. It's smooth, it's juicy with refreshing crushability. Take your taste buds to the moon with the tangerine space machine. I don't know if you guys know about this, but they do know about this on the moon. It is on tap up there, and it's also on tap at Second Best Bar, which you need to come and hang out with us at. Brewed by New Holland Brewing Company, straight out of Holland, Michigan. Go and gear up yourself a case today.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Hey, it's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. They got 50 plus Metro Detroit locations. It's where you can work out on the cheap if you are on a budget, or if you just want the best gym. It's not just dollar for dollar the best gym. It is the best gym, and I'm not just saying that. Planet Fitness has helped Neil Rule on his fitness journey. It's helped Spencer Raxter on his fitness journey. And look at those studs right now. If that's all the proof that you need, and if you need to get in shape before the holiday season, after the holiday season, or just get your New Year's resolution up right, get yourself a Planet Fitness location. $15 for a regular membership. You can upgrade to the Black Card, in which you have access to more amenities and to get to go to all Planet Fitnesses. So if you're traveling for Thanksgiving or Christmas, that is not an excuse. You can go to wherever Planet Fitness is around in the area in which you travel to. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Hey, Essential, what up, though, people? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward, and we got to talk about Mr. Perfect himself. That is Jared Goff. And you talk about spreading the football around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different Lions players caught passes yesterday, bro. Jared Goff, right? Let's put out these stats real quick. 24-29, 412 yards, 14.2 yards. That's the average, man, per throw. 4 touchdowns, 93.9 QBR, 158.3 quarterback rating. Shout out to Hendon Hooker with the 103.1 rating as well.
Hey, shout out to
Look great out there. Kid look great out there.
Hey,
I'll say this
like
though, Hendon Hooker could have won that game yesterday, but that's neither
That's
here.
what I'm talking about.
That's neither here nor there, because Jared Goff, he had his get right, but he blew that away in droves. A perfect passer rating.
I was going to ask you, 158.3, is that like perfect or something?
It is perfect.
Okay.
It is a perfect passer rating. And the best compliment I can give to Jared Goff in terms of just the season that he's having, I did not think that he could completely erase that 5 interception game in terms of his standing as an MVP frontrunner in one game. But Jared Goff did just that. A perfect passer rating, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. And I'm actually glad, because us as Lions fans, as I was saying before, we want them to, it's Super Bowl or bust. That's all we really care about. But wouldn't a Jared Goff MVP sit just right? Imagine Stick and Neil if that happened. They would lift this desk without their hands. But for real though, and that's why I'm glad actually that the Lions didn't take their foot off the gas and they let Jared Goff sling it around in the second half. And I actually think the touchdowns that he threw were such a, I know we overuse the term microcosm, but I'm going to say microcosm of who Jared Goff is as a quarterback. He described himself after the game as he was playing point guard. Well, he looked like prime magic out there yesterday, because when you look at, I'm just going to look at his touchdown passes. The first one to Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra runs a shallow crosser from the slot. Jared Goff hits him perfectly in stride, and he's just able to basically walk into the end zone. The second one, that was the Jamo touchdown, a 20-yard throw deep over the middle, in which Jamo catches it right in stride and is able to just jog into the end zone and finish off with a Marshawn Lynch celebration. The third one, the one to Brock Wright. He just sits back in the pocket, just waits for somebody to get open. Boom, Brock Wright, wide open, nobody near him, touchdown. And then the fourth one, which is a throw that he has made a million times. Obviously, it's an exaggeration, but it seems like that. And he probably has to this guy in practice and games combined. Just an out route, like an 8-yard out route in the end zone, hits Amon-Ra St. Brown perfectly on time. Amon-Ra St. Brown with a toe tap, touchdown. Jared Goff was phenomenal yesterday, and he pretty much erased whatever stench that 5-interception game had on him, and he's right back in terms of being one of the absolute front runners for the MVP. More on that tomorrow, but he was absolutely immaculate yesterday.
And that's why I'm glad that we were really, really bullish on Jared Goff. Hey, I love the back screen as well. Shout out to Jared Goff. But it's because I didn't believe, as you guys stated as well, one game should sink what he's been the entire season. And if anybody, like all of the rush judgments, like, okay, does he have work to do now? Has he brought himself down from the pantheon of this guy's a clear MVP to now you're in the conversation? Sure. But to have heard NFL players and or ex-NFL players and media members saying he's brought himself out of the conversation to me was such a crazy rush to judgment. And now you have all of these people, though, still sitting here saying, oh, yeah, the Lions could go undefeated the rest of the season. Like, stop being so quick to just want to toss Jared Goff out in the trash just because you see one little like bump in the road. Like, welcome to Detroit. We got potholes here. Even if my rims get cracked, bro, we still riding to wherever we got to go and go and do work. And that's the mentality that I have with Jared Goff, man. The guy just does work. If you got a bad day, you have a bad freaking day. Stuff happens. Who are you going to be when that happens, though? Because being from here and being a Lions fan and going through what we're going through with the Pistons and all of our squads, we know bad stuff gonna happen. But like, is your heart, as my old coach used to tell me, my college coach, is your heart pumping milk or is it pumping blood?
That's a bar right there. Yeah. And this is the type of game which is proof as to why you couldn't, the people like RG3, for example, who said Jared Goff's MVP case was dead, they were kind of talking nonsense. We all understood that he had to play his way back into it, but he did that in one freaking game. I gave you the pathway to Jared Goff becoming a possible MVP. I said that they needed to go 15-2 or 16-1, and he needed to play great the rest of the season. I'll tell you what, they might not even have to go 15-2 or 16-1. He just needs to keep playing clean, and hell, he could finish the season with 35 touchdowns and like 10 or 11 picks, and the Lions are at worst 14-3. That's an MVP season. It depends, of course, on what other people do, but there were some other people that did not have a great day yesterday who are his competition in the MVP. I'll just say that. More on that tomorrow.
Chill my fantasy quarterback.
More on that tomorrow. But KG, your cough, it sounds like a quarterback's name. I don't know who it is, but I didn't know you coughed like that.
Lamar Jackson. Sorry, it's a lot of marijuana.
Like that.
Lamar Jackson. But I mean, this is what we all knew. And Kool-Aid, I told you last week that he could play his way back into it. Of course, we needed to see it. 5 picks was not a good look. However you want to slice it, however you want to divvy the interceptions up, it wasn't a good look. I'm glad he wasn't satisfied. I'm glad he went out there and took the hearts out of the Jaguars, man. I'm glad they let him go out there and sling the rock in the second half and then just, sit on the game, pause. Like, I'm so glad, because this is what separates the good quarterbacks from the great quarterbacks. Not being satisfied. It doesn't matter, man. He wanted a better performance. He knew he was capable of a better performance, and he went out there and gave it to you. Now, we know it's against a Jaguars team that sucks, for lack of better words. We all know that, man. But Jared Goff is one of those guys, man. He is one of those quarterbacks, and I'm here for it, man. Like, he keeps putting on these great performances, and he is arguably your MVP right now. I mean, I know Josh Allen had a great day yesterday, but Jared Goff just continues to do it week in, week out, and with the best team, the best offense in the NFL, man. So I know it's going to be up for grabs toward the end of the year, but I think Jared Goff will be right in that conversation.
Yeah, and he deserves to be right in that conversation, man. It's awesome to see what he's doing that is contributing as well to winning. It's not just a good season, but they're dominating. They're going out there. I saw Neil. He was like, yo, I'm at the grocery store. Yes, the game is still going on.
That was funny.
And I was like, I'm posting this one, bro. And it was just, Lions are demolishing teams, and YouTube ate it up. Why? Because that's exactly what they're doing. And I do wonder how these other squads, when you're coming into these games, what do you do? 9 different people caught passes, bro.
Yeah, there's not. I mean, if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars, just I guess pray, hope that there's like a plague on your team so that you have to forfeit at this point. I'm not saying that other teams should do that, but if you're the Jaguars, you definitely should.
I don't know. If you're the Houston Texans, maybe you should have did something else.
Well,
maybe.
I mean, they did all they could.
That's what I'm saying. You look at the season and how this went. People can say, "Oh man, that was a good game." It wasn't. They got when the Lions said, "Okay, game over, Vikings." They got boat race.
Vikings won in a game. Like Lions won in a game-winning field goal.
It was 10-0.
I understand.
Lead.
They had control of that game from the moment they went 21 unanswered. They had control of that
That's
game.
what I'm talking about. That's boat racing.
Okay.
Listen,
I can't say boat race. I'll let you finish, but go ahead.
I understand as it relates to respect of the final score, but as it relates to how that game flow actually went. Yes, there's going to be times where you have some off moments. I can't state that the Vikings were up 10-0 because the Lions were playing their best and the Vikings were just better. They weren't. The Lions were not playing their best at all. And they stated it. As soon as we figured out what the game was over. And that's what I mean by boat race. There was no more winning at that point in time. At all. And the Texans, same thing. Hey, 23 unanswered. No more winning for you. There's nothing else you're going to do this game. That's what I mean by boat racing. They've consistently done this to team after team after team. They give them 1 or 2 or 3 drives. They may be there for a half. And then after that, there's nothing else for that other squad. And that's what I mean. So as it relates to final score, okay, Jags got boat race. But as it relates to the flow of that game and sitting back and realizing, even down 10-0, Vikings they're cooked. Even Cody, Texans fan, was like, my team is cooked. I'm like, bro, you're up 2 touchdowns. My team is cooked. Your team is that deal.
Well, and he was right, because just even watching that game, like I said about the Lions, I don't want to call it devil magic because they make their own magic. Because in the Texans game, for example, that defense turned into the 85 Bears for the second half, the 2000 Ravens. No, like for real. 7 second half possessions, what was it? 2 interceptions, 4 punts, and a missed field goal. Like, I can't even call that devil magic because the defense just put the clamps on. Yeah. The absolute clamps.
Yep. And I do get your point because I'm hoping that this team, and it looks like they don't take any possessions off. Like, every single possession matters. And I hope that every single game matters exactly how we saw them play it last night. And I'm hoping that as they progress through the season and more of what these teams are trying to do to confuse the Lions early on, that they have that stuff figured out. The cool thing, though, is that I know this. The game plans that Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn are going to bring to the table every single week are going to be winning game plans, no matter what the other team is trying to do. No matter what. I do expect some little hiccups. I expect some little bumps in the road. But ultimately, I expect largely what we've seen this season, which is crazy, but darn near perfection.
Darn near perfection. You know what else is perfection? Woodward and Main and the pregame show. That is for sure. Hey, Detroit, on game day, wake up with Woodward and Main, your source for all the insider information on the defending NFC North champions, your Detroit Lions. With insight from Detroit sports media legend Terry Foster and rising star Matt Broder. Get ready, Detroit, every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. Woodward and Main, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, to all your local long drinks, Sabbath Coffee, and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. And then, of course, you get to watch the pregame show hosted by these guys right up there with those faces. That was definitely Neil during Jamo's touchdown. He was like, honey, I'm ready. It's the New Holland Brewing pregame show every game day. Neil Rule and Sean Beligian bring you the best Lions pregame show Sunday 10 a.m. to noon on Woodward Sports, live at Second Best Bar in Detroit. Latest injury reports, fantasy sit and starts, and the inside scoop on your Detroit Lions. Join us for every Sunday home games live at Second Best Bar in Detroit, your official guide to the Lions game day on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, to all your local long drinks, Sabbath Coffee, Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, and Les Stanford Chevrolet.
I could go to the store.
You're an ugly guy. That's okay, because you have a hot girl on your arm. Now Woodward Sports and Les Stanford want to reward you for outkicking your coverage.
I am ugly as by traditional standards.
That's right. If your significant other's hotter than you can win tickets to the Thanksgiving Day game in Detroit. So find the best pic of her with the average-looking you and post it on X or Instagram. You ain't got no alibi. You ugly. You ugly. Make sure you 25th, then you and your much better looking lady will get tickets to watch Dan Campbell and the Kneecappers.
We're going to buy the kneecap off.
Inside a Ford Field on Thanksgiving. So find the best pick of her and the worst pick of you. And show us all how you outkicked your coverage.
Mama said you ugly. Hey!
From Woodward Sports and Les Stanford. Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, or other family law issues, Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. With 10-plus years of experience and 24/7 availability, scan the QR code on the screen or call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you and KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back.
Hey, and we are back. You know what? Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, they definitely had Jared Goff's back yesterday. 161 yards for Amon-Ra St. Brown, 124 yards for Jamison Williams. Hey, 31 yards per catch for Jamo, by the way. 1 touchdown for Jamo, 2 touchdowns for Amon-Ra. I can't say enough about this offense. Obviously, we started the show by focusing on them, and then we get a little bit more granular by making sure that everybody who deserves their glaze and their flowers properly gets them. And Jamison Williams will be able to shake off the noise and get back on track for a big season of Flannel Jersey Watch.
Well, all right, I'll give everybody what they want. The Jamo Jersey Watch is definitely back on at this point. There was a moment where it looked like it was on life support, but you know what? Jamison Williams, 124 yards, 4 catches, his 4th touchdown of the season, all of them at least 37 yards or longer. Yesterday was 64. And what you love about him is that you've seen this season that he just has a flair for the big plays. I mentioned the touchdowns, 4 of them, all of them long, like I said, at least 37 yards, one of them as long as 70, but he's combining that with the type of play you saw from him last week, which was making a couple of really, really difficult catches in big spots. So he's becoming more of a complete receiver, and I'll tell you what, that whole Jamo Jersey thing with 1,000 yards, if he gets 1,000 yards this season, then he's 100%, no question, worthy of the number 12 overall pick. I still, obviously, if he's a big piece on a Super Bowl winning team, nobody gives a damn if he didn't quite get the numbers that he was projected to. But if he gets 1,000 yards and the Lions win a Super Bowl, I mean, what more can you say?
Yeah, you know, what more can you say? And just kind of looking at his season stats right now through 8 games, 24 receptions, 41 targets, 538 yards. He's getting there, man.
Yeah, he's getting there.
But he's just under 600 total yards on the season. He's going to have more rushing yards this season than he's had any other season. Mm-hmm. He's going to have – he already has more receiving yards this year than he had combined the last 2 seasons. Yep. He had 354 last year. And he already has 4 touchdowns on the year, more than he had his previous 2 years, which was 2 touchdowns. And this is receiving, not the rushing ones. 2 touchdowns and 1 touchdown for the last 2 seasons, respectively. So it's good to see Jamison Williams not just, you know, we want to see all the noise go away, but like we said, there may be bumps in the road. Who are you going to be in response to those things? And we see Jamison Williams stepping out there on the field, almost like, hey, listen, I'm back to business. Let's go out there and get back on track to win a Super Bowl. And he went out there and had a great game, because this is what made me bullish about him at the beginning of the season, was that this guy, you see it in his average per catch. This guy has an opportunity to turn every single catch into a home run. Yep. Every single one.
What Jamison Williams could end up having one of the almost like a scoregami type stat line, like a statagami type stat line. Don't be shocked if Jamo finishes with fewer than 50 receptions but over 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
That's what he's on pace. I don't know if he's on pace for 1,000, but he could certainly get there. And one of the reasons why is the man has a flair for just making the big play. Not only are those 4 touchdowns of at least 37 yards or longer, he also has another catch against the Buccaneers, which was 50 yards, which didn't result in a touchdown. He could get his 1,000-yard pace in one catch every game the rest of the season. I'm not saying that he will, but in terms of the big playability, I would say that really no receiver has done it better this year in terms of making the big-time explosive plays, because Tyreek Hill has fallen off. Whether it's his fault or not.
It's not his fault.
No, certainly not. But, like,
I love our boots.
Circumstances have dictated that Jameson Williams is, I'm not saying he's nowhere near Tyreek Hill, but in terms of explosive plays, he's done it pretty much better than anybody.
Yeah, but that's the thing. This Lions team, they continue to show us that there shouldn't be a cap that we place on them. As long as they can control the noise and control their work and control staying on the field, this team is one that's proven that they're going up and up and up. And they haven't been afraid to go in there and say, if we have to get out the bad weeds, we'll go in there and we'll pluck those up, whether it's in the coaching staff or whether it's players on the field. And that, to me, is also a major component to what Brad Holmes said, building for longevity. We want this to be a long-term success, not just a cute season here and there.
Yes, and while we're on the topic of wide receivers, you got to shout out Amon-Ra St. Brown as well. And this is why I was so happy with yesterday's game, because I like the fact that a lot of these guys were able to just get big numbers. Because Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's had a great season, but prior to yesterday, his numbers weren't quite the pace for what they were last year. I think prior to yesterday, it was a long shot for him to be a first-team All-Pro like he was last year. But I'll tell you what, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 11 catches, $161, 2 touchdowns, 11 receptions on 11 targets, by the way, which speaks to Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown's synergy. And now all of a sudden you look up and Amon-Ra St. Brown is 4th in the NFL in receptions and 2nd in receiving touchdowns.
Yep.
You love to see it.
Just outside the top 10 in receiving yards at 11th.
11th.
Yep.
I'm glad you mentioned that as well. And I think that just speaks to Jared Goff is always going to have a great his connection is obviously building with the Jameson Williams. He's got it with Sam Laporta. He's building it to some extent with Tim Patrick. But that synergy that he has with Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Special.
Jared Goff is at his best when he is hitting Amon-Ra St. when that's his number one receiver.
It's special.
And you saw it yesterday. It's like they can finish each other's sentences. Every route was run crisply, and every ball was delivered right on time. There weren't even tough catches. It was just in the breadbasket every single time.
Every single time. And they weren't tough catches, but I've become accustomed to them being able to connect on even tough catches.
Yeah
because we talk about Amon-Ra St. Brown this season. Well, he got the bag. He put the league on notice. And what did the league do? They're going to adjust. The scouting reports are going to adjust. Why wouldn't you adjust? It's Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
That's why he got paid. Look, and I heard some people out there, they want to talk about, he ain't worth the money. Then why is the league double teaming him? Why is the league making sure that there's a spy in a bracket over top of him? Like, why is the league doing this type of stuff? Then why is every team we're stepping up to making sure? Remember the beginning of the season? It seemed like the league, the opponents were selling out to make sure he couldn't get a pass his way. And Jared Goff was still able to fit it into certain windows. And because of the type of pass catcher, sure-handed pass catcher that Amon-Ra St. Brown is, they're still able to connect on that. So it's like whether they have a day like yesterday where everything can kind of be in rhythm, they're hitting those windows that they were missing earlier in the season, or whether it's where things are a little bit more tight and the defense is going to be a lot more aggressive. I am so glad that connection is now proving to be very special and very elite. I get it doesn't look the same way that Matthew Stafford and Calvin Johnson did. Sometimes I think people want the measurables. They want the perceived arm strength. They want the, just
the flashy
straight
plays.
Up what Megatron was.
Yeah.
It's what he was. But what we see Jared Goff and Amon-Ra doing, despite not having some of those things, it's still elite. It's still special. And that connection is what we see, like our opponents, they're adjusting to. And it's like you over-adjust, then Jahmyr Gibbs is going to sauce you for 70 yards. You over-adjust, then Jameson Williams is going to sauce you for 70 yards.
Good luck. That's
where it's at.
Good luck at this point. They're like one of your strategies if you're coming in as an opponent right now is to pray. Obviously, you shouldn't pray for like outcomes of football games, but it's just you get what I'm saying, and this is why. And again, one of the reasons I liked that they were able to get Amon-Ra St. Brown some numbers is I like to compare this game to one of the other big beatdowns, the Tennessee Titans game. Nobody was able to get their numbers in that game because either Khalif was returning it or they were getting turnovers or big returns that set the Lions up with 20-yard fields. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he by no means played poorly against Tennessee, but because of the way the game was flowing, he only was able to get 7 yards with a touchdown. This was a game in which the Lions, they didn't really have short fields. They just had to go on these long, methodical, easy drives, and Amon-Ra St. Brown was eating. And nobody's earned that more than him, because some of those games where he wasn't putting up the numbers, he was still playing well. You got to reward the guy who is one of the best receivers in the NFL, and Jared Goff did just that. And the Lions, a lot of people got rewarded yesterday. I'll just say that.
A lot of people did, and I'm glad that we sit here and we talk about, no, it's not about the awards. I'm sorry. Listen, when the Lions say, like Amon-Ra St. Brown, did he say it's about the awards or no? He said it's about it all. When you talk about eating, when we talk about the fact that they went in there and they put foot to tail to the Jacksonville Jaguars, that they absolutely folded up the Dallas Cowboys and didn't carry in their own home in front of their own kids, bro. Like, think about it. Like, they're not caring. It's exactly what you're saying. It's exactly what we're all saying. Just pedal to the metal, roadkill, be darned. We do not care. We don't. When this, it literally is. This, what we're seeing right now, is the visualization of I don't care if you have 3 toes and 1 butt cheek. I will beat your tail. Say it for me, KG.
I will beat your ass.
Hey, this is the visualization. How does that look? Well, the Jaguars are an NFL equivalent of 3 toes. And they got there in 1 butt cheek and they got ran over. And so it's like, yeah, I want them to have that approach and everything. I want Amon-Ra to eat on the field, off the field, with the awards. I want him to feel salty. He's salty about his draft positioning.
Yeah.
Of course he's going to be salty if he's like, oh, you don't see what I'm doing?
And that's why I said we can Super Bowl or bust. But we all would love to see the guys get rewarded. Like an Amon-Ra St. Brown with the first team All-Pro, Jared Goff with an MVP, a certain somebody we're going to be talking about later with a league lead on the defensive side of the ball, and Jamison Williams with 1,000 yards. All of those things are possible with the Super Bowl win. So, but yeah, But you know who kind of did their job somewhat quietly yesterday?
What up,
the best backfield in the NFL.
Sonic
Let's talk about them. Sonic and Knuckles.
I heard Vanderlei, Brian Branch might be too violent for this league.
Too violent?
I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, there's no such thing.
Hey, you know what? Walk into any Lady J's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a double victory Monday, a $20 haircut special, a scalp massage. You know what? A hot lather neck shave while you're wearing your victory leather chaps.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
Wait a minute.
Saying it is what it is, man.
You the only
Treat
one with
yourself right. You know what? Yeah, get the hot towel treatment as well from one of our talented hairstylists. Take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Just scan that QR code wherever it is on the screen and get
Tyson
your code today.
Just got your ass all out.
Lady J's Haircuts for Men. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. It's wicked awesome. Go Lions. Go Pistons. Go Detroit. Go WUW Crew. Go Chat Fan. Go everything.
Keep the chaps in the drawer.
Woo!
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Main, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
It's the New Holland Brewing Company Lions pregame watch party. Every Lions home game live from Second Best Bar, Detroit. Enjoy the pregame hype with a live broadcast every week with Woodward Sports personalities like Neil Rule, Sean Belegian, and the Heavyweights. Brought to you in part by Sabbath Coffee and Les Stanford Automotive. Great drinks like Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, Tangerine Space Machine, Taller Long Drink, great environment, and even better food. It's the New Holland Brewing Company Lions pregame watch party live from Second Best Bar, Detroit. Brought to you in part by Sabbath Coffee Roasters and Les Stanford Automotive. Come get some.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Hey, look, fuel your Detroit sports fandom in this double victory Monday. Shout out to the Lions and the Pistons. With the perfect cup and become a subscriber of Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Whether you're gearing up for a big game or savoring a quiet morning, Sabbath Coffee Roasters has you covered with fresh, locally roasted specialty coffee delivered right to your door so you know they're treating you right. Head to www.sabbathcoffeeroasters.com, choose your favorite roast, and make sure that you're using code Woodward to get 25% off your first subscription order. Awake and unwind, support local, and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Or just have a big old dose of that double victory Monday. Hey, I got Pistons in this cup. I got Lions in this cup, man.
Double cup.
Hey, you know what? I'm not going to simulate drinking because it will look like something else right now. I'm not going to do that. But welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward, man. It feels good when the Lions win. It feels good that the Detroit Pistons look like a not just a team on a rise, but a team that wants more. They're not settling for expectations.
Yeah.
Block out that noise. Continue to do that work. But we got to talk about the best running back duo in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's funny at the beginning of the season because I know the next couple segments we're going to be talking about some of these duos as well. Now we're going to talk about Kerby, but I had to sneak Brian Branch in there as well.
Of course.
But it's interesting to see that at the beginning of the season we were sheepishly asking the question, oh man, are they a top 5 or top 10 duo for both of them and the safeties? And it's like to see where they are right now. They are, to me, unequivocally, the hands down best running back duo in the NFL. And we also have the best safety duo in the NFL.
Yes, you have the best of both, 100%. And they've proved it this year, both the running back duo and the safety duo. And the funny thing is, I don't know if any of you agree, but by the end of the game, I'd almost forgot that the running backs were really what got it all started. I mean, how many times this season have you seen David Montgomery set the tone on the first drive and punctuate it with the touchdown? He did it again. David Montgomery with just another ho-hum, 15 carries, 75 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. So now give him 10 rushing touchdowns on the season.
Dragging people for like an extra 3 to 5 yards.
That's just what he does.
Time.
That's just what he does.
Okay.
And it didn't even look like he was exerting a lot of effort. As it didn't look like that for any Lions player because the Jaguars are so bad. But yeah, first drive Monty, third drive Monty, and at that point it's already 21-3. And second drive Gibbs. And Gibbs in this game gave you 12 touches for 123 yards if you include the 54-yard swing pass, and with a touchdown as well. It's one of the best problems you can have as a fan, as like just somebody who's evaluating the team, is there's about 4 or 5 different units you can look at as what's the actual strength of this team. And the running back duo, they're in consideration because you look at them. They have the best running back duo, the best offensive line. They have the best, I would say, secondary at this point, the best coordinator duo. But the running backs, it's just, I wanted to give them their shine because every single game, except for maybe the Texans game, but even Gibbs at the end had some nice runs, they just show up and they do their job.
How do you scheme for them? Because I know that there are some people and reports and media out there who stated, all right, you know what, if David Montgomery's in the game, then you understand how to kind of crowd that line. If it's Jahmyr Gibbs, you want to look out for the speed on those edges. And then all of a sudden, you got Jahmyr Gibbs slicing and dicing through the middle of the line and being this kind of physical force that it takes a little bit extra to try and tackle and bring down. How many times, like, just how many times, just from a standpoint of thinking about Jahmyr Gibbs runs, do you see a player try to tackle him along the sidelines, that player falls, and Jahmyr Gibbs is still running, and then walking and then coming right back to the play? Like, that happens so many times. He's not somebody that's easy to take down, and I wonder if that underestimation of the type of physical runner and the type of vision he has kind of in the middle of that line and being able to hit the gaps and hit home runs, I wonder how much that has messed up what teams are able to do to try and game plan against the Detroit Lions. And then David Montgomery, he's just one of them cheat codes. Like you talked about, is what he does. Well, how do you game plan for a guy who you know is going to punch you in the mouth every single time? And it's like, I have my glove right here. Like, man, my head is in a box. There's no way you're going to punch me. And you still punch me. That's what David Montgomery is, and it doesn't make any sense. This team is it's almost like game sliders all the way up for the Detroit Lions. I don't even know how you game plan for it.
You can't. I mean, you can maybe stop one of them, because prior to yesterday's game, 3 out of the 4 of the previous David Montgomery games weren't quite what you'd expect in terms of numbers-wise. But in every single one of those games, Jahmyr Gibbs went off to some extent. As I said, even at the end of the Texans game, they weren't running the ball very well for most of the game, but Jahmyr Gibbs had some nice runs at the end to really help the Lions win.
They were blocking, though. The running backs in a couple of those games that I noticed with David Montgomery, there was a little bit more pressure on Jared Goff, and I noticed he had to do more chipping and blocking in some of the sets that he was in.
That's why I said by numbers.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
But you're right, and I'm right. By numbers, it weren't like his best games productivity-wise, but 100%. On those games that weren't his best games productivity-wise, they were some of Jahmyr Gibbs' best games productivity-wise with his 100-yard games. There's really nothing you can do. And just imagine, too, if this 54-yard swing pass to Jahmyr Gibbs is a sign of things to come, and he gets more involved in the passing game. There's really nothing you can do, because to go back to Gibbs really quick, I'm just looking at when I've watched him play this year, I can't remember a single game where he was really stopped. He was pretty much eating to some extent in every game. Yeah. And when you look at his game log, every single game he's put up numbers. You can argue maybe the first game of the season, 11 carries, 40 yards, and a touchdown. But other than that, every single game, he's usually given you at least 65 yards, sometimes more, and damn near 5 yards a carry. Every single game. And that's why he's averaging, 6.3 yards per carry this season? Absolute beast.
That's insane, man. That's insane. And that's what I'm saying. Like, when you mix in the passing aspect of it, I believe that the only reason why he doesn't have more passing yards right now is because they have a whole lot of options. And they're still finding ways, though, to have everybody eat. We talked about some of the numbers. Can some of these guys reach these numbers? And we're like, yeah, we know that those individual players are talented enough to get there, but there's a lot of mouths to feed. Well, they're feeding the mouths. That's an insane thing. Like, Jamo's going to get to his yards. Jahmyr and David Montgomery are going to get to their yards. You know what I mean? Amon-Ra, he's going to get to his yards. And to know that there's a couple more games in the season where I believe they can have more days like this, it's going to be a fun end to the season. And I hope that, again, mentality-wise, it continues to be pedal to the metal. Do not care about the narratives. I don't care if you got politicians calling you classless. I don't care if you got players around the league crying, or other players talking about, like Xavier McKinney.
Right.
I keep saying, what are we talking about?
Play better.
It's football. Line up and stop us. We have business to handle.
Yep.
We don't just handle Super Bowl business. Then imagine the speeches that Dan Campbell's able to give to say, y'all want to start Super Bowl preparations during the playoffs? You want to taste NFC Championship game all over again?
No.
No, today everybody's the Super Bowl game.
They don't
until we have the championship in our hands.
They don't take anybody lightly.
Nobody.
Like
I'm
these Jaguars and Titans games, they could have easily been trap games where you kind of F around for a little bit, but the Lions don't do that. And I think one of the reasons, and I know it's been reported, and I know Dan Campbell continues to hammer it home, is because they did not finish the second half of the NFC Championship game. And as you said, they don't want to experience that again. They're just pedal to the metal. And that's think, one of the reasons why. How many times have you seen them just dominate a second half? Remember last season when the third quarter was a bit of an issue, at least at times?
Think they figured it out a little bit?
The Texans game is the perfect example.
Yep.
They had that game lost. But as I said, the defense turned into the damn 2000 Ravens. Was that prime Ray Lewis and Ed Reed out there? Was that prime Mike Singletary, Richard Dent? No, it was the Lions without even Aiden Hutchinson and before Zadarius Smith. They don't let up. They show no mercy. They're Cobra Kai. They're literally Cobra Kai, except they win in the end, unlike Johnny Lawrence, although Daniel LaRusso won that on an illegal kick. I will die on that hill, but that's neither here nor there.
Hey, Chase, just can you hit the social team? We gotta cook that graphic. Cobra Kai, these Detroit Lions show no mercy.
No mercy.
Just let them know. We got that. No mercy. That's an excellent reference. And you know what? You know who's showing no mercy? The defense. Especially these safeties, man.
Hold on.
Absolute vicious.
Before we go off the running backs, man, you forgot to bring up the most important running back of them all. Mobile Goff, baby. Mobile Goff. He is here. 22 rushing yards. What are we talking about, bro? 22.
Go off, KG.
22.
Go off. We were cheering to him. I was yelling so much. It's the Jags and I lost my voice.
No, people in the chat were saying we failed to bring up Vanilla Vic. We got to give him his love in terms of Mobile Goff, man. He was doing it all yesterday, man.
I give him his credit, but I needed him to get a little bit more faster to get in that end zone because I did have some money on that touchdown. But
damn.
Yeah. Oh, but you know what? It's good. Like I said, it's good to see that this team is like, we're not resting on our laurels. Everyone must get better at something. Can you imagine Jared Goff sitting on the sidelines looking at Brock Purdy in the second half of that game being the adjustment?
Yeah.
His feet were the adjustment for that offense. It wasn't even Christian McCaffrey going off because they bottled him up like they've been doing. All of these running backs are supposed to sauce us.
Hey, he heard that we was hyping up Lamar's rushing stats. He had to get his too. He got to make his MVP case, bro.
I mean,
he doing it all, bro.
The funny thing is, I know we're being tongue-in-cheek, but it would actually behoove Goff to maybe at least finish the season with 100 yards rushing. I'm not saying it's going to be the difference, but you know, he got his rushing yards. It didn't look pretty doing it, but it doesn't matter. Yards are yards.
Can you imagine if Goff has 100 yards on the ground?
The difference, and this is not to
this
is not to diss Goff, I promise. But we're bringing up Vanilla Vic. The difference in watching Jahmyr Gibbs run the ball versus Jared Goff. Jared Goff would say the same thing, by the way. Yeah. I'm just saying.
Two-hand huts. Goff does run like me looking for a toilet, though.
No, that's a fact.
Just a fan.
It don't matter. He get there.
Just a fan. KG is so right. Goff has become an elite scrambler.
Elite.
I've seen the Vanilla Vic chants in a chat from Big Fella 07. And you know what, man?
If Goff start running, y'all motherfuckers in trouble. I'm just scared. How do you game plan for that?
I mean, he's at 39 right now. Like 100 is possible.
Do we know what the over/under was for his the starting over/under for his yards and what it might be right now for the rushing yards?
What for the season? It was probably like 50.
Right, if that.
but you know what? When there's open lanes and nobody is and no receivers are open, it's a big deal to get your 6 or 7 yards, to give yourself a 2nd and 3 instead of just throwing the ball away. So as much as we talk about Vanilla Vic tongue-in-cheek, 21 yards on the ground, especially if they're in big spots, that could be it obviously wasn't going to be the difference in yesterday's game, but that could be a difference in terms of a punt and a first down.
Because situationally, it looks like there are reads, there are situations. So it's like if you are within an aspect to get the first down is where I generally see him taking off and running, unless it's just absolute chunk yardage and space in front of them. But so if they have a plan in place to effectively keep them healthy, pick up a couple extra first downs, especially with the way this team is playing. I almost would rather him try and get a first down on a 3rd and short than for them to do something that pushes it into a 4th down play, and now they're getting back into Dan Campbell mode. So I'm just like, you know what? if you see a play breakdown and you see, I know I can beat the corner to the edge, hey, go ahead and do it. We've seen him do it a couple times.
It don't matter. Craig Reynolds didn't do too bad too.
It's scary every time Jared Goff takes off running.
It is a little scary.
It's all right. As Art Vandelay says, Goff looks whiter than flannel when he runs, but it's glorious. That's facts. That is 100% facts. But you know what? As long as you can scramble and get us a couple of first downs in high leverage moments, I don't give a damn what you look like. But you know what else you shouldn't give a damn about? That was a terrible segue. How about you just bet at Caesars? How about that?
You tried.
Go make yourself some
You
money.
can't get them all, man.
You tried. I appreciate
The Bart
that.
Simpson cake, you tried.
Right.
Maybe you can bet on Goff's rushing this season. Hopefully he hits over 100. That would be nice. But you can always bet on Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. Scan that QR code on screen. Use code word Woodward1000. Deposit up to $1,000, and all you have to do is place a minimum of a $20 bet. And if it doesn't hit, they will throw it right back into your account with no questions asked. It is the Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. Pistons are playing tonight, so you know what? Make some money.
You're an ugly guy. That's okay, because you have a hot girl on your arm. Now Woodward Sports and Les Stanford want to reward you for outkicking your coverage.
I am ugly as by traditional standards.
That's right. If your significant other's hotter than you could win tickets to the Thanksgiving Day game in Detroit. So find the best pic of her with the average-looking you and post it on X or Instagram.
U-D-L-I-N, you ain't got no alibi, you ugly. What? You ugly.
Make sure you tag at Woodward Sports and follow us to enter. We'll announce the winner November 25th. Then you and your much better-looking lady will get tickets to watch Dan Campbell and the Kneecappers.
We're going to buy the kneecap off.
Inside of Ford Field on Thanksgiving. So find the best pic of her and the worst pic of you. And show us all how you outkicked your coverage.
Your mama said you ugly, hey!
From Woodward Sports and Les Stanford.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
1800 Tequila, official tequila of Woodward Sports, Lions watch parties, and post-game show. Join 1800 Tequila at Woodward Sports every Lions game, live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township, and celebrate the wins with smooth 1800 Tequila, proud sponsor of your Detroit Lions. 1800 Tequila, the best taste in tequila. Drink responsibly.
Hey, what up, though, people? And we are back. It is Wake Up Woodward. It's been a show, man. Double Victory Monday.
Yes.
The Lions and the Pistons both win by 20-plus points. And they open up a can against the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Washington Wizards, who Kyle Kuzma once famously said, don't, at this point, it's like, don't be that team, in reference to the Pistons when they were going through their issues. Kyle Kuzma, bro, You're that team.
Yeah, Wizards are that team.
They are that team. Hey, but shout out to the Lions. We got to get back into it. You guys already see the board. We're going to talk a little Zadarius Smith in the next segment because he got a big sack, man. First game, I was happy to see him do that. This guy is happy to be here, completely on that Sheed energy. We hope it lands the same place that Sheed coming to Detroit did, and that's with the championship. But we got to talk about this elite, the top, the best safety duo in all of the NFL.
Oh boy.
That is Branch, and that is we put Goff up on the screen, Stick shows up. Brian Branch and Kerby Joseph.
Hold on, I'm gonna give it to you one time. I got you. I got you.
Vanna White there. Hey, he's on his Vanna White. I love it. Mr. Perfect himself, Jared Goff. and, you know, he just picks up his briefcase and he's just about his business. That is Stick, ladies and gentlemen. And
the official Jared Goff spokesman of Woodward Sports.
The official. And you know what, man? We got to talk about these safeties. They are dogs.
Yes.
You talk about the level of physicality that they're bringing to the game. Teams are going to start crying again. They're going to start crying again. And you know what? I get it. Brian Branch, he's gotten fined a couple times. I know there was a hip drop tackle and whatnot. But the level of physicality that he's bringing to the game, the IQ, the way that they just wrap up and it's like, when I tackle you, that is it. You're going nowhere else. You get nothing else. The ability to be all over the field and then ultimately to know that these are guys that you expect every single game to be able to go out there and create some type of turnover. That's wild, man. And they are number 1 and number 2 in the NFL as it relates to PFF rankings for the safety grades.
Yes, they are. And now Kerby Joseph, after his last interception, now leads the whole bleeping NFL. Shout out to Spencer Raxter, who predicted this before the season. You're looking like a prophet right now, and let me just give you a little bow on that one. But this is what I talk about when I mention, just when we're talking about Kerby Joseph, how this was the Oprah game. You'll never get a lower leverage interception than Kerby Joseph got. We've seen him throughout the season just pick off 4 passes in the end zone and get a pick 6 and all of that. But in this game, when it was pretty much garbage time, he got another one just for the F of it, basically. I'm just going to get an interception because I can, and because Mac Jones is playing quarterback, and because at Dan Campbell, I really do believe he wants a takeaway more than anything in every game. I genuinely believe that if they didn't create a turnover, that Dan Campbell would have mentioned that in the locker room. You know, how it's like, still mad, even though it's 52-6, but this is another thing. When you lead the NFL in interceptions, when you are as good in coverage, when you lay the wood like Kerby Joseph as well, these are the numbers that you're gonna have to put up outer space interception numbers to be in consideration for Defensive Player of the Year. And right now, he's doing it. 7, and then of course Brian Branch just did what he always does, as steady as ever. That hit on Evan Ingram knocked him back into space.
Devastating. He's wherever that New Holland space machine and all that. That's where he knocked him to.
That's a big dude, too. And Brian Branch was just like, it didn't even look like he tried. And Evan Ingram, like, he was damn near knocked out of Ford Field.
Yeah. It's crazy he got up quick after that.
What up, though, KG?
No, it's just crazy how quick he got up after that. I'd have been down for a minute. Hey, I got to get out this game, bro. He out there laying it like that.
We've all been there. We've all been there, man. You know, we got hurt. But, you know, hey, maybe your friends are watching. Maybe the younger sibling is watching. Maybe the ladies around you. You jump back up and you try to act like you're not hurt.
Right.
But you know, on the inside, everything is broken, including your feelings.
No, that's
because that you can't hide that. I know that Kerby Joseph and Brian Branch is hurting feelings out there. You got NFL grown men crying about Kerby Joseph publicly. Man. NFL players. Like, come on. What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive that before the season we were talking about the secondary as a potential, as something that they needed to shore up. And now we're talking about maybe the best secondary in the NFL. We knew that the safeties were...
if he's on the way back. Potentially.
Don't. We knew that the...
I love that smile.
I don't think I can talk anymore. No, I'm kidding, obviously.
Big musket, boom!
Right. We knew that this safety, well, we thought it was going to be a trio, but it turns out we knew that the safeties would be the strength of this secondary. They've been even better than I think we even imagined. And Carlton Davis, shout out to him. He is putting together a Pro Bowl caliber season as well. So a shout out to the secondary, and shout out to Kerby Joseph for getting an interception just because he says he could. Just because he could.
Yeah.
42-6 game, doesn't care. Still going to play hard. Still going to juice the numbers a little bit. But I'm not mad at it because we would love to see Kerby Joseph get his flowers. We'd love to see him get some DPOY votes. We'd love to see him as an All-Pro too. Why not? Why not juice your numbers a little bit when you can?
And you know what? I really do hope that we get Iffy back on the field. You know, when you look at just how the stats bear it out, Jack Campbell, 9 total tackles, 3 solo, half a sack, tackle for loss, QB hit. Who's second? Brian Brandt, 7 total, 5 solo. Who's third though? Alex Anzalone. It's good to see Amon-Ra up there, but these defensive backs, obviously they're going to be high up these rankings as well. But this is where I am looking forward to Iffy Melifonwo coming back. This is where I'm excited with the play that we're seeing out of Malcolm Rodriguez as well as Jack Campbell. I believe leading the team in tackles. That's my linebackers. This is a time now where they're going to have to all take a step up. But as you get that third safety back here, these safeties are versatile, can kind of play all over the place. We were just wondering, where do you fit them? And, you know, it's unfortunate that you have the injury to Alex Anzalone, but I do believe that the Lions have the personnel to make up for that type of a loss. And I do believe it allows them, if they want to get funky, to figure out, we just want to figure out how do we get all 3 of these guys on the field at the same time.
Well,
and get Frankenstein with it.
Unfortunately, and we're going to talk about this more later. I want it to be more of a fun show. Unfortunately, the Alex Anzalone injury might create more opportunities, give more room, but it doesn't appear like it's a season ender. So hopefully, old Alex Anzalone and Aiden Hutchinson will maybe meet each other in the playoff game. I'm not saying it's like
Anzo's going to be back.
Well, Anzo's definitely
look
gonna
at his
be
face,
back.
I can
bro.
see it. Yeah.
6 to 8 weeks is what it.
My
what
man
it
looked
said.
back and was like, "It's broke." Like, hey, yeah, my drink's cold. My drink's cold. It's like, bro, your forearm's broke. What? He just said, yeah. They forgot to put the olives on the pizza. Like, what, bro? Like, goodness
God, these
gracious.
guys are sociopaths in the best way.
Right.
In the
He's
best
gonna be
way.
back.
You have to be.
Because he could play with the club on his hand. He's going to be back.
Yeah, I mean, Ray
He's not
Lewis
missing that.
played in his last season in the playoffs with a broken arm.
I remember that.
Super great point. He's gonna be
I remember that.
I'm just saying, if it's normal, average people like us, like, I'm over there crying on the sideline. I don't care. I just broke something in my arm. Like, no, I'm hurt. I'm hurting right
Talk about
now.
your leader, dog. The whole, like, if I'm on that squad, if I'm new to the team, I'm like, what the F are these guys on right now,
Yeah,
dog?
man.
Hey,
It's like,
but you know who's really new to the team? Zadarius Smith, and he made he made an imprint on the game. Hey, shout out to him with the Rasheed Wallace jersey. He even looks like the man.
A little bit.
It's crazy how many just signs that there are. There you go, Zadarius Smith walking into Ford Field with a Rasheed Wallace jersey on. He understands the moment. He understands the assignment, and he even made a play in this game. But you know who makes plays all of the time when it comes to buying a home? Mark White.
Elite transition.
Making up for that dumpster fire that was my last
Yo, I
transition.
understand, man. All during the last break, I saw him looking like Jared Goff on the sidelines. Like,
it's like a kid.
Man, and he came back, though.
Dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
You're an ugly guy. That's okay, because you have a hot girl on your arm. Now Woodward Sports and Les Stanford want to reward you for outkicking your coverage.
I am ugly as by traditional standards.
That's right. If your significant other's hotter than you can win tickets to the Thanksgiving Day game in Detroit. So find the best pic of her with the average-looking you and post it on X or Instagram.
U-D-L-I-N, you ain't got no alibi, you ugly. What? You ugly.
Make sure you tag at Woodward Sports and follow us Twitter. We'll announce the winner November 25th. Then you and your much better-looking lady will get tickets to watch Dan Campbell and the Kneecappers.
We're going to buy the kneecap off.
Inside of Ford Field on Thanksgiving. So find the best pic of her and the worst pic of you. And show us all how you outkicked your coverage.
Your mama said you ugly. Hey.
From Woodward Sports and Les Stanford. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Hey, Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza has a new limited time offer. Just in time for this football season, Soroki's is debuting their fresh signature flavored wings. Grab your friends, order a New York style pizza, and add fresh wings for the games this weekend. Try one of their 7 different flavors. Visit their website at sorokis.com.
Hey, what up, though, people? We are back, and it's time to talk about the big fella, Zadarius Smith. This guy, he has been ready to play since the trade was before the trade was announced. Remember when they saw the SMH that he posted online, some people thought, does he not want to go to Detroit? Is there something wrong with the deal? He stated that he was just eager to get to Detroit and that it was just taking a little bit longer for him. And then soon after the deal was announced and he deleted it, and ever since it's been all Honolulu blue for him. Yeah. Literally, he's literally looking through a shade of Honolulu blue. Literally, his glasses, his buffs are Honolulu blue as well. Yeah. Like since he's gotten here, he's instantly acclimated himself to the city of Detroit, and I love that players are coming in from the outside and doing that. Just even rookie Ron Holland talked about, I live in Detroit. I live in downtown. I hear how fans are, pregame for Lions games. I hear, like, literally the rumbles from Ford Field. I hear what's going down at Comerica Park, and he wants that for the Pistons. But Zadarius Smith is here now experiencing this with the Lions, and he's a big part of it, too. Gets his first sack in his first game, man. Shout out to Zadarius Smith.
Unfortunately, I had to change the terminology a little bit to gets in the sack column because he was credited with a half. But this was just another symbolic thing. By the time the game was out of reach, I mean, basically by halftime, even before that, I had completely forgotten even that Zadarius Smith was playing or that he hadn't gotten I don't think he got a single stat until that moment, because it didn't matter because the Lions were just winning by so much. But when he actually got the sack, which ended up being a half a sack, it was just, of course he did. Everybody pretty much and their mom around here predicted that Zadarius Smith would get in the sack column in the first game, and he did. And you just love to see it. You love to see him in his first game with the organization, getting his bye week, because playing 18 games in a season is an absolute gauntlet, and the Lions be able to get that win anyway. And in his first game with the Lions, when he can truly experience a Lions beatdown, he gets a half a sack. He gets that moment where he gets to celebrate and hear the roar of the crowd. So it's another one of those moments. Obviously, the Lions didn't need the Zadarius Smith sack to win, but I just love to see these guys get those numbers. Yes, it was symbolic. Symbolism.
Him getting the sack, half a sack, whatever, and then doing the celebration, it was just like, and then the dance and everything, it was just like, you know what? This guy is glad to be here. And it's because, like what you heard Carlton Davis talk about. Let's talk about what the guys from the outside were saying as they came here. They're all stating, this squad is primed for a Super Bowl run. Outsiders, not us as Slappies, they've helped encourage me. I want to be a Slappy, but I was like, all right, we got to move a little cautious. It's the Lions. We don't know what we're seeing yet. And that's why I continue to ask the question, what are we supposed to be seeing and doing and reacting as and processing as fans of a team that's supposed to win the Super Bowl? And so it's like, now to see these guys coming here and saying this is a squad that can do it, and them going out there and having new life. Like Carlton Davis is a really good cornerback. Zadarius Smith in his first game is out here and already having an effect. Whether it's a half a sack or a full sack, we got the quarterback on the ground, and he has something to do with it. And I do look forward to the type of impact he's going to have down the field, down the road. This team being able to play even more balanced and being able to, I think with him here, think about if they didn't do anything and they thought they had enough, and then Enzo goes down. With him here, it does help this team still be able to play balance and be able to pick up their brothers. And I look forward to Jack Campbell being able to kind of still be what he's been as well, just a steadying force just behind the defensive line with Zadarius Smith on the edge.
With Zadarius Smith, because we all know that, as I said before, that half a sack didn't make a difference in the game at all. It was more about him feeling good, him getting his numbers, and the symbolism behind it all. But we know damn well that there is going to be a game in which he makes that game-wrecking play in a close game that the Lions win because of Zadarius Smith. Yeah. That's why we bring him here. And I'm just glad that he got to, like I said, experience a true Lions beatdown and make a play during the game. And like I said, hear the roar of the crowd. Hear the roar of the crowd when he was introduced. My goodness.
Yeah, his intro was dope.
He's
the
a
two
fan
waters,
favorite already.
Like Stone Cold taking him to the head, man. That was dope, man. And this goes a long way in terms of, endearing himself to the city, man, because he knows the job that he was brought here to do. And I'm more encouraged by the way the Lions were using him. He was pressuring the ball a lot yesterday. They were using him inside. I don't know if he played like a lot of snaps. I know he was there probably for at least half the snaps, but the way they were utilizing him too just leads me to believe like he's going to make a big impact on this defensive line. And I'm just waiting for it to be in a big moment, like Sam said, either for a game or maybe in the playoffs. So,
yeah, the playoffs too, for sure.
Man, you know what? This show just zoomed right on by. Yep. We got everyone's favorite segment on the way. That's what's trending. We got to pay a few bills. Where should we go to next, Mr. JB Smith?
Watch Party and Dr. Pierce.
Hey, you know what? Back to back?
Oh, yeah.
I got you. It's the New Holland Brewing. Hey, how appropriate, right? The New Holland Brewing Company Watch Party with the Heavyweights and the post-game show hosted by Stick and Anson. All happening at Hayes Social live in Shelby Township, and it's a vibe every single time for every single Detroit Lions game, home or away. And it's the place that you want to be if you're not at the game. If you can't be there, make sure you're tapped into Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sport. But we want you there. Why? Because the atmosphere is electric, the food, the drinks are great, and we get to interact with our chat family as well. All at Hayes Social. And right after that, right after the heavies get things kicked off with the watch party and all of the instant reactions, we give you all of the instant analysis on the post-game show. Stick and Anson break things down. And we get you guys involved as well. If you're there, we give you a mic, we put you on camera, you give your take. If you're not, then you can call in as well. And we'll make sure that you are part of the show. Because you guys are why we do this. Go Detroit Lions, go Detroit Sports, go Chat Family. All of this is brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Charlie, your local long drink, 1800 Tequila, Sabbath Coffee, and the Sorokis.
And Dr. Pierce.
Hey, attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday on Big D Energy, every Thursday on Ermanni and Jamo is offering top-notch injury advice. You got to trust the guy that DMAC trusts. Why? Because Dr. Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Hey, what up, though, people? We are back. It is Wake Up Woodward. It is now time for everybody's favorite segment. That is what's trending, man. And let's spark a word to dispo, Mr. JB Smooth.
Let's do it.
And now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
Hey, this man don't need no introduction. It's JB, y'all.
What's up, What's up, everybody? What's up, chat family?
What up, though?
You guys, I don't know if you noticed, Thanksgiving is coming up pretty soon, but I put up my Christmas tree. So let me know what you guys think.
Is that?
It's a beautiful tree.
It's perfect.
It
man.
is.
That's the perfect tree, man. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, man.
I love the star at the top.
Great tree, man.
This is a perfect little star up there at the top there. You know
that tree is biting kneecaps.
Yeah, you just need the kneecap ornaments now. You got to put kneecap
Put
ornaments
some kneecaps on there.
Yeah.
Shout out to John Gruden too, man. His video was hilarious, talking about the Lions biting kneecaps.
Oh yeah, bar stools, John Gruden.
Right? Yeah, he got hired, man.
Can't
Boy,
believe
Chucky
that.
out here.
John Gruden got a job.
Yeah, Gruden got a job. Can't believe that. Can't believe that. But there's also some news as well too. I got to show you guys this. I was mentioning this to Broder a little bit earlier as well too. Apparently, the Pittsburgh Pirates want Paul Skeens signed one-of-one card back to them, and they are willing to offer a boatload for this. Let me tell you right now.
Yeah.
2 tickets, season tickets behind home plate for the next 30 years. A meet and greet for Paul Skeens. He'll autograph a jersey. You'll also get a softball game for up to 30 people at PNC Park.
Man.
And a private tour. A private tour with around the Pirate City and the park as well too. And if that's not enough, one Miss Olivia Dunn chimed in as well too and said the tickets will be with her as well too. So you will be sitting with her during all of these home games.
That's fire.
Are you guys willing to do this if you find this card?
Absolutely, make the trade.
Whoa.
I would too.
It's like flannel. Pick.
Honestly, it's the season tickets for 30 years. If you're a Pirates fan, you're gonna be in hog heaven. The one thing though I will say is that I'm a lot more into women I can actually get, not somebody who's already taken by Paul Skeens. So sitting next to Olivia Dunn,
to slide.
it might be like okay for. It'll be nice at first, but then it's just gonna be like, I don't know. I want to focus more on those who are attainable. You know?
I mean, she doesn't have friends she can introduce you to?
Oh, Chase,
there you go.
That is the best point you've made since you've been here. I changed my mind. You know what?
Chase has arrived. Chase GPT is
I'm just
now.
saying, they could get divorced too. You never know. I'm just saying. 30 years, that's a long time.
You guys are
saying, just plant the seed.
You guys are slowly changing my mind there.
No, but
with new information.
When fans get memorabilia and stuff that they know is going to be worth something, this is the type of package that you come with to try to get your memorabilia back. Don't offer me a signed jersey or we'll give you a little bat. Like, I don't care nothing about that, bro. If you're not giving me no money, it needs to be something like this, because that's the only way I'm coming up out of it. Otherwise, I could just sell it and make money.
I mean, it's a big get. I would probably do the exact same thing too. But hey, Olivia Dunn in the picture as well. I don't think you can go wrong with that one. Just saying. Plant the seed, Flem. Plant the seed.
Well, I won't be planting the seeds.
You never know. They might have some issues, you know. You never know.
You never really know.
Might be able to take advantage.
Yeah, I can throw the ball like 50 miles an hour.
Hey, 50 is better than 0. So,
man,
you're beating somebody.
I'll tell you what.
Exactly.
Not to digress too much, one of the most embarrassing moments of my life is going to one of those where it measures the speed of how hard you throw and rearing back with everything that I have and seeing like 50 miles an hour and being like,
and look, Freddie Felt, shout out to our brother Freddie Felt. What are brothers for? Encouraging and lifting you up. He said Sam Reynolds, Big Musket, acting like he couldn't pull Livy Doom.
Right.
Look at that. Look at
Big
that.
Musket.
Stop playing.
I am, but I will not be pulling Livy Dunn. But I will.
That's because she's scared of you, man. That one shot to blow her head off.
Bang, bang.
She's scared, bro.
Hey, can you just for me? Can you say bang, 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 bang?
Bang, 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 bang.
Hey, you know what? We're going to have to do that side by side. We got to do it side by side, man. All right.
Oh, my God.
Goodness gracious. That was great. That was good.
That was dope.
I digressed a little bit too much. I'm sure you got a lot more.
We got to make that a drop. That's got to be a drop.
We got to make that.
I love it.
We got to make that a drop. But man, guys, I know CTE is real, but have you ever had CTE before you even went out and started the game?
Oh boy,
you're about to see it. What? I present to you backwards helmet Oklahoma drill.
Come on, dog. In the locker room, though.
Why?
Why y'all doing this in the locker room?
JB, why?
This
bro?
screams injury.
I don't know.
Those aren't the real players, are they?
No, well, maybe. I don't know.
I think this is a high school or team or something like that. But they are literally doing Oklahoma drills with their helmets backwards. Like, I don't understand this.
Aren't you sitting out a game if you're like a coach and you see this?
No, for real. Coach be mad as hell. You see this. Why in the locker room? It's just not smart to do this in the locker room, but. They not taking it serious though. They just messing around.
Yeah, they're just messing around. They're not really taking it serious.
They probably get no PT anyway. That's why. They just in the locker room doing shit like this.
That's fair.
Oh yeah,
that's fair. And finally, I will end what's trending with this. My man Justin tried to hook everyone up this weekend and tell you guys and put you guys on game to take Kansas plus 2.5 over BYU. And if that wasn't enough, this probably sums up the whole game.
Whew, damn.
They got taking out.
Damn, sniped.
Bow.
Yeah, bow.
He almost cleared it, though.
Almost.
It grazed his head a little bit, but yeah.
No, I got to give credit to Justin for that one because Kansas coming into the game were 3-6, but they're a better team than their record indicated. Jalen Daniels is a quarterback who can make plays. Just had a bit of a turnover problem and the defense sucked, but you called that one right, and maybe Jalen Daniels can mosey on over to Ann Arbor in the offseason.
Maybe.
They
paying money out here now.
I don't know all about that, but that's it for what's trending, you guys.
Stop hating, JB.
Let's hop into some mailbag. He's not coming there.
Let that hate out your heart.
He's not coming there. Stop
let's hear
it.
from our friends from Feldman, but JB Smooth, as always, great job, man. Great job.
Absolutely. Great job, JB. And what else does a great job is Feldman and the sales team and all that, because they've hooked me up, Neil Rule, and Broder as well. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations at the Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit FeldmanAuto.com to find the location nearest you. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
All right, and we are back. What up, though, people? Let's get those Feldman mailbag questions into the chat, and we'll definitely read as many as we can. I didn't have on my bingo card that we would get a, Pop Williams, bang, bang, bang to John.
I know, right?
Out of Flannel Sam, but I am so glad that we did today on this Double Victory Monday, man. I guess, while we get these questions in here, definitely want to be able to talk to you guys a little bit as well about those Detroit Pistons too, man. They got a big game tonight.
A big game. It's just another one.
They're favored.
Another one of those teams that you have to be better than. As I said before, the Bulls are not good. They've got some young, nice pieces, but I don't think they could get rid of Vucevic or Levine because they're both miserable to be there. Josh Giddey is probably the worst defensive player in the NBA. The Pistons should win this game, but as we talked about, guys like Zach LaVine or Nikola Vucevic or Kobe White, they could go off. One or multiple of them could go off, but the way the Pistons have played defensively, I don't see any more than one of them going off.
I believe this is a game that's going to come down to what they choose to be in the closing moments, and that's where I'm hoping to see growth. It's a team you should beat. It's a team that you should beat, in my opinion, handily. But we do know that the Bulls have, when we talk about recipes, the recipe that can kind of give the Pistons some trouble. So depending on the type of team they are, if it's more or less the team that we've seen, I think they won 6 of their last 9, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah. If they're that team, then they should go in here and just pop them really quickly, just across the bridge of the nose, and just the fight's over. That's just it.
Ooh.
So, hey, we got a couple in here. Anything, brother? Hey, talk about these Pistons.
Hey, no, they playing good ball right now, man. You are favored tonight. Go in there and handle business, man. Let's get to 500.
I found one from Mike G.
Talk about it.
Because it's near and dear to my heart. Michigan basketball beat TCU on Friday. They also beat the crap out of Oakland in the preseason, 92-48. Is Hoops back?
Why y'all do that to Oakland? That's so mean.
We're a basketball school now.
Well, the reason that I answered that was because I was in the house Friday. I ended up going to the Chrysler Center. My first time in the Chrysler Center in the Dusty May era, and there was they played really sloppy in the first half. 16 turnovers, just a bunch of lazy passes. They were letting a very bad TCU team, hang around for too long. But in the second half, Michigan did end up closing it out. They did clean things up a bit, and I was very impressed with 2 transfers in particular, Trey Donaldson and Danny Wolf. Vlad Golden, though, they need to get... I don't know what's wrong with him, whether they're misusing him or he just forgot how to play basketball, but he has been bad so far. He was really the prize transfer, and he has not been good. But hopefully he can bounce back tonight. Big game versus Miami, Ohio.
Hey, and you know what, you guys? Make sure you guys run up the likes today. I know we didn't do the Satisfy the Like button song, but you know what? We'll sneak one there really, really quickly, and then I'm going to run off these Feldman Mailbag questions.
People that already busted their lows, man, they good.
Hey.
No, hey. But if you're ready for round 2, hey, you know we got you, man. So just go ahead and cruise into that like button. Let's slide in real nice and slow. Don't be too rough now. You know you got to be gentle with the like button, but appreciate you, man.
Double tap.
I had to get on my Charlie Wilson real quick, man. Shout out to Uncle Charlie.
Yeah, that's my man.
Last name Wilson.
Go ahead and run up those likes, but hey, you know what? I saw a couple interesting ones here. Michael Dunlap, Mailbag, Feldman Mailbag. Is it crazy for me to say that we found our Troy Polamalu and Brian Branch?
No, it's not crazy.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. Big Con 51, Feldman Mailbag. How many picks does AR throw? To the line.
2.
1.
I know he's been trying to get us.
Hey, he had a game yesterday, though.
He did.
Say what you want. He had a game yesterday.
He did.
1. I think they might be able to get 2.
Yep. I think 2 is
possible.
I think 2 as well.
Yeah, no.
First for all defensive problems.
We'll have to ask me on Friday because I might have changed my mind by then. But definitely at least 1. Anthony Richardson, he's still reckless. He had a really good game though. Shout out to him.
He played the sorry ass Jets, but what would you expect?
But the Jets defense, at least their personnel is good. But Sauce Gardner forgot how to play football though.
Man,
Sauce Gardner
maybe he's trying to work his way to the Lions. Wow.
Come on home.
That's what it is.
Come on home.
Sauce Gardner, come on.
Carlton Davis on one end. Okay.
Hey,
it's not gonna happen.
I'm just saying. Look, we see him in the story sometimes on our socials. So, just by happenstance that you see this, we wouldn't mind having you here.
Yes.
Just,
come on back.
What if I told you Sauce Gardner came back to Detroit?
Come on, bro. Charles McClain, Feldman Mailbag. We got a Tigers one. If Jackson Jobe is good as advertised, could you see Tigers trading Scooble? That feels disgusting to say. And York this winter, as we know, Chris I won't spend the money for Scooble. That sounds disgusting.
It's an option.
Yeah, it is an option.
But we have to talk about it.
Like I said, nobody actually wants to trade him, but it's just the way your organization operates. I don't know about the future of him being here long term.
Can you imagine if it was this current Lions regime that had to make the decision? Think about how
he'd
they
have been signed already.
Re-upped everybody.
Yeah, he'd have been signed
and
already.
set the market. Feldman Mailbag.
They made the playoffs.
Yeah, talk about it. yeah.
Yep.
Made the playoffs.
Because of school.
Literally putting the team on his back and
Yes.
carrying you through a round and a half playoff baseball.
Yes.
So
yes.
All right, IT Hips now. Feldman Mailbag. How worried are you about the front seven now that Anzo's out until the playoffs? And that's an interesting one because Aaron Glenn's defense is just a front whoever the heck we put out there on the field.
You're right.
You're getting steamrolled. So it's just like, but Anzo, we can't downplay the type of player and the importance that he played to this defense.
That's you know what? I wanted to make that our 8:15 topic tomorrow. That is way too
Tap
deep
back
of a
in,
question. What's up?
We'll have him tap back in.
Yes, that was a way too deep of a question to give a short answer. We're gonna get into it tomorrow. Tomorrow morning though, 8:15.
This is a pressing one that you should probably answer now because it's gonna happen. John Hughes, Mailbag. What color Jamison Williams jersey are you gonna have? Which one are you buying?
it's got to be the black one.
Yeah,
For the JMO jersey watch.
It's got to be black.
I think so.
My dog.
Woodward Pistons. Fish from Chuck Brewer. Shout out to Chuck Brewer. The last time the Lions and Pistons each won a game by double digits on the same day, October 28th, 1973.
Are you serious?
Damn.
Wow.
That's
This is the one 3 championships since then too.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Sheesh.
Feldman Mailbag. Kerby Joseph, Brian Branch, or Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas.
Chancellor and Thomas for now.
They're the same players.
Cam Chancellor and
They
Earl
doing the
Thomas
Spider-Man meme.
helped fuel a Super Bowl win.
No.
Yeah, they went to back-to-back Super Bowls
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
When we win a Super Bowl, then we can start making
Yes,
comparisons.
yes.
But we got to
Yeah.
get that trophy in the building first.
Absolutely.
That's
It's a
facts.
fact.
Hey, what is the score prediction for tonight's Pistons-Bulls game? Also, the Pistons need to extend Malik Beasley because what he said walking to the Pistons locker room at the game on Sunday. And that's from Dante151. I do expect the Pistons to win. Score prediction, it's harder to predict those in basketball.
Yeah.
I do expect, though, this Pistons team to continue its defensive dominance and hold the Bulls under 110
Wow.
points.
Oh, 110. Okay.
Yeah, I was
okay.
about to say under 100
I
is
would be
wild.
surprised
Okay.
if the Bulls coming out like 97 or 98, but it would be out of character. You know, the Pistons have the 7th best defensive rating in the league
Yeah.
at 110.7 right now. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's dope.
That's that for where they were last year, the last 5, 6, 7
Right.
years.
I ain't seen this defense in a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So I think that they do hold them under 110. It's going to come down ultimately to the offense.
I agree with you on that. I'm going to go Pistons 116, Bulls 104.
Sounds appropriate.
Man. I don't know why I got the Pistons hitting 123 tonight, but 123 plus whatever
Yeah,
Chicago want to do. probably
Wait,
probably 115 or something, but go
JB
Pistons,
Smooth,
man.
What up, though?
Give me Pistons 110, Bulls 93. Like, wow. I want to see them blow this game out.
93, JB?
93? Yeah,
it's
93.
It's not 2000 no more, bro.
93. If
They held the
anything,
Raptors to 95.
How many people said they've held several teams under 100 points
Yeah.
in the regular season? When I told people, hey, listen, 3 teams
93
under
is crazy.
500. You guys have to understand something. NBA preseason basketball, you don't want to take large extrapolations from that. But with the way that they've reduced it and moved the season up, it becomes a lot more important for players to catch their rhythm. So if you're holding teams to under 100 point in preseason, that is something that you could say could translate, has a good chance to translate to the season, and guess what? It is.
Yeah.
3 of their 5 opponents during preseason were under 100, and they've already done it a few times to start the regular season. So,
I mean,
the
hell,
stats
look at
don't
this
lie.
score from Shad, 142 to 88.
That's
Oh,
very
that's
on brand.
Side.
That is as
Shout
on
out,
brand
shout out.
as can
Oh,
possibly
man.
be.
Eric
So
Allen,
you have no credibility, Shad.
Eric-
I know you're just trolling, but
645 total offensive yards is from Eric Allen that the Lions had yesterday was 9th most in NFL history.
That's crazy. They are a special, maybe even historic offense
Yes.
that we're seeing. This is why you have to cash in the Super Bowl this year. You don't get offenses like this. You just don't.
Chat family, I see you. I just saw what the number of likes went to. Shout out to you, chat family. If you haven't gotten the opportunity to run up the likes, it's a double.
Yep.
It's a double victory Monday. It feels good, man. I'm on that Brad Holmes and the elevator screaming energy, man.
Yeah.
And I am so absolutely fired up for Detroit sports and for you, chat family. I think that's the show.
That's the show.
Hey, let's get that chest pass.
Real quick, can we just say happy birthday to Ryan Lentz?
Hey, happy birthday.
Shout out to Ryan Lentz.
Ryan
Genius
Lentz.
Room, man. Over our graphics department.
Dog.
He's been one of the more kind of integral parts of Woodward Sports behind the scenes, but one of the more important people here and just overall a good person. Happy birthday, Ryan Lentz, man. Shout out to you, man. This is a guy who, whatever they ask him to do, he's just going to do it. And then he's also going the extra mile in the graphics and such. I guess it's awesome. Video editing.
Yeah.
Just the thumbnails that you guys see on the shows and such. He's doing his thing.
Shout out, Ryan. Happy birthday, man. You're a terrific person. Great to know you, and I hope you have a great day, man.
Better human than graphics guy, or better human than behind the scenes guy too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Jeez, man. I love this place. I love this place. Let's get this thing brought down. Shout out to our brother Matthew Broder, who got things kicked off today with Woodward and Maine alongside the legendary Foster.
Yes, sir.
Our
Shout out
guy,
both
that
of them.
dude Justin, who he dropped into town last night, did what he had to do to run TD for the post game and help set up, help do clips all day, help do content, and then jetted back last night, got up this morning and is doing clips as well in tandem with Chase GPT. This team is working hard, man, and that's why I asked you guys to run up these likes so that we can continue to have what we need to do what we got to do. But shout out to Cavassier Chase. What up, though, brother? Double Victory Monday. How you doing, Mr. Chase?
Oh, hey, what up, though? Sorry, in the computer right now. What's up, everybody? Happy birthday, Ryan. Shout out to James and his dad, James, as well, from the beginning of the show with that video from the tunnel. Appreciate you guys all in the chat. Make sure you stick around. We got 11-1 Big D. Neil and Sean kicking us off, continuing Victory Monday. Ermanni and Edwards 2-4, and then the heavyweights rocking and rolling for us 5-7. We got a bunch of great shows for you guys all day, so stick around, man.
Let's rock, man. Got a commuter today. The voice is not there. Shout out to this elite booth, Detroit's #1 draft pick in the sound booth, KG, aka Black Hollywood. Brother.
Yes, sir. That'll do, Kool-Aid. That'll do. We appreciate you. But hey, shout out to everybody in the chat, and big shout out to Big Fella 07 in the chat, tuning in all the way from Fort Worth, Texas, bro. I be seeing you showing love in all the shows I'm on. I appreciate that, man. But shout out to you and shout out to everybody else, man. It's a double victory Monday. We feeling good. Go Pistons. Go motherfucking Lions, man. Y'all know what it is. Super Bowl bound. Let's get it.
It's going to be a crazy game. Pack out LCA tonight, man. Hey, shout out to Woodward Sports' MVP in the TD booth. Victory Monday. Double Victory Monday. The TD booth, JB Smooth. What up, though, brother?
Another Victory Monday. Another one.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully we can keep this rolling on tonight. Pistons can get another win. Shout out to James and his pops for those amazing videos and for coming and showing out and hanging out with us at Second Best Bar. Like I said, only a couple more Lions home games to go. Come and hang out with us. We have an amazing time. Just saying.
Hey, and Woodward Sports is the vet of the squad, man. The vet of the network. The more things change, Sam just stays the same. All sports knower and Red Wings correspondent. Flannel Sam, what up, though, brother?
Speaking of the Red Wings, get a win tonight.
Oh, my
Please.
God.
Please.
Like, for real.
We need another double victory shot.
Don't go pointless on your road trip, on your West Coast trip. If you value Derek Lalonde as your coach, which I don't know if they do or not,
right.
Win this game. Just win this game.
The Sharks suck.
The Sharks are terrible. Yeah, win this game.
Hey, man, I'm seeing this Pistons group chat, man. People like, yo, I'm going to the game tonight. I love this energy. I love this energy, man. It's your boy Brandon Dan, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network. Goodness gracious, this feels good. Keep it rolling, Detroit sports. Let's go and chat family. Have a great day. Be blessed. It's been Wake Up Woodward. Hit that like button on the way out.